Hello, welcome to Movie Musters. Power Book 2, Ghost, Ego Death in Season 4 Episode 5 Review. There's no need for every mid-season finale to end on an extreme cliffhanger. Or perhaps with a bang. All they have to do is do enough to pique your interest. Was that a successful mid-season finale for last Power Book 2, Ghost? Both yes and no. Getting the bag, Power Book 2, Ghost, PGS04E05, Ego Death, stars. Although this season of Power Ghost has been less consistent than previous, the show is still among the most enjoyable on television despite a few unsatisfactory episodes. And this hour was precisely that. Maybe that wasn't a big cliffhanger that would leave us wondering until the show comes back this fall. But it wasn't necessary. We will continue to follow this story to its conclusion. Related, Michael Rainey Jr. of Power Ghost discusses Tariq going into predator mode and warns anyone could go. Though there were undoubtedly some weird secrets revealed throughout the hour, I was actually relieved that no lives were in danger and that we could now speculate about Tariq's next move. Tariq asks himself this question all the time, but now that he's going to be a parent, the stakes are considerably higher. Since Brayden helped him get out of the death trap that Noma and the Tejadas placed for him, Tariq has been in financial trouble, and despite the fact that he and Brayden have launched a new company. With everything going on in his life, he's kind of in and kind of out. Serious Tariq, Power Book 2, Ghost, PGS04E05, Ego Death, stars. The Power Universe pulled off the greatest ruse ever by getting me to care about and support Tariq St. Patrick. I want him to exact revenge on those who have made it their mission to demolish what he has created. I hope he succeeds in life, looks out for the people he loves, and lives a long time. However, it also appears to be such an unreachable objective. And after everything that Tariq has been through, is that really all he deserves? Following the events of Power Book 2, Ghost Season 4 Episode 4, Tariq wakes up drunk. Though it may have been a low point, Tariq used the events of Power Book 2, Ghost Season 4 Episode 4 into a teaching moment. Tariq woke up after the events intoxicated and got blown off by Anya. He was always quick to move on to the next thing, which is what set him apart from so many other people as well as from Brayden. Not everyone has the ability to experience negative events in life and simply pick themselves up and move on as if it hadn't happened. For many others, that's not a reality, and Tariq is not any better than anyone else because he licks his wounds and acts as if they never happened. Views all around, Power Book 2, Ghost, PBS04E05, Ego Death, stars. I agree to receive targeted advertisements and emails. In the end, Tariq's way or no way, and he has always been incredibly self-centered. There's a reason why the man outside of Brayden is by alone, not with a friend or someone in his corner. The largest issues are always those facing Tariq. They are always most crucial. And even though I was nodding in agreement with both of them when they were trading blows, it's high time someone told him about himself, and I'm delighted it was Brayden. Although Brayden has done a great deal for Tariq, he has also made mistakes. Tariq has had to clean up messes he made. Not too long ago, he expressed his desire to leave and returned for Tariq, but Tariq was right to question Brayden's genuine commitment to their work. See also, the greatest hate-driven couples on TV. One of Tariq's worst traits is his limited perspective on the world, which stems from his incapacity to look beyond his own existence. He has no idea how to be a love partner or a friend to anyone. You could argue that he sort of understands what it is to be a son, but it would be too obvious, so I couldn't type it without scowling. You can respect Brayden's ability to battle Tariq to a heavyweight knockout, though, since the moment Tariq was in danger. Heavyweight bout, but Brayden fled when Tariq appeared to be in jeopardy. Cane is ready, Power Book 2, Ghost, PGS04E05, Ego Death, stars. Brayden's taste in women is so awful. Elle seems like a decent girl who's been dealt a lot, and it's true that this is a crime, but in 2024, we don't try to make people loosen up by giving them drugs. Elle, what are we doing here? Although it was kind of them to provide Elle with a more complex storyline than just, the girl Brayden is sleeping with and is slowly getting him hooked on coke, I was not impressed with this small plot that left Brayden in such a horrible situation. After Riley, you'd think he would be a little less trusting. But at his core, that's who Brayden is. He may be a heartthrob, but he needs to admit that he doesn't really know this girl that well. Fortunately, Tariq's acid trip didn't do too much harm to him, but it did something else in his life that nothing else has. it allowed him to see that he is more like his father than he had previously realized. Everyone in his life and beyond has recognized that, but Tariq has never allowed himself to recognize and accept their commonalities because he has connected so much hate and contempt to Ghost. Brayton faces off, Power Book 2, Ghost, PGS04E05, Ego Death, stars. Now that he's at a fork in the road, he must decide whether to continue or move on with his life. Alternatively, he could lock in and soar to heights he's never experienced, surpassing Ghost in excellence. Seeing two different incarnations of the same person, Tariq while high on acid, was an intriguing sight. I came to one conclusion and one conclusion only when Tariq chose to interpret that fever dream as a message that he needed to draw closer to Ghost 2.0 rather than farther away. He will eventually meet the same end as his parents, whether it be now or in the future. Related, 13 characters who accepted the dark side and broke our hearts. Assuming the role of the ultimate predator would need Tariq to unleash his full potential, act without hesitation, light the entire damn planet on fire, and do it all while grinning. Could he really do that? Sure, he shot his father, so he's definitely competent, but this is not the first time this has happened. If he succeeds, he will be in the lead and by himself. It wasn't shocking that Diana decided to have the child. Although that was what she desired, it seemed as though she was searching for just one argument in favor of her choice. But everything is so jumbled because of Tariq. Diana looks out, Power Book 2, Ghost, PGS04E05, Ego Death, stars. Just a few hours ago, these two were attempting to kill each other, now, they're dividing ultrasound pictures. In addition, Tariq had lied to her about Salim. After everything Diana had lately lost and everything she had been in danger of, it was astonishing to hear Tariq come out and tell her about his intentions to be the big dog in town, as if that was meant to impress or excite her. It seems impossible that these two could manage their relationship with little affection or trust and go on to co-parent successfully in the future. It begs the question of whether Tariq will reconsider his intentions for complete carnage. Hint, the response is not yes. Diana wasn't the only Tejada facing a decision. Monet determined that the time had come for her to take charge, don the cutest motherly hat ever, and bring her broken family back together. Power shows can be hilarious because they include characters who are willing to fight to the death, but then quickly shift the topic to discussing the importance of strong family ties and the necessity of putting aside attempted murder in order to unite for the greater good. Monet talks, Power Book 2, Ghost, PGS04E05, Ego Death, stars. Monet's naive belief that a satisfying dinner would help her three children forget about the previous day was evident. Cane, Ma, I'm not going to sit here and eat French breakfast with motherfuckers that attempted your murder. Look, a lot of crap has occurred, says Monet. However, we can make things right. We can, I'm sure of it. Man, all we need is a reset. We are a family, everyone. Cane, you can forgive me too if I can. Cane, although I could, I won't. Link, I could, but I'm not going to. PGS04E05. Monet's work always seems to come too little, too late. She's dealing with grown-ups who have their own lives and goals, and the harm has already been done. They are no longer under any obligation to comply with their mother's demands. Cane is dealing with his own issues. There is less emphasis that Diana put herself in risk now that she has stated she is out and about with her child. Dru, on the other hand, is prepared to move on right now and has always had one foot out the door. Similar, Power Book 2, Ghost Review, Season 4, Episode 3 Review, Birthright. Dru deserves praise for being the one to make Monet answerable. He didn't need to forgive her in the first place, but he did, and he made her earn it by saying what he truly felt. Monet seems to be about to break out of her routine if she doesn't mention her family 10 times or more in each episode. Her mantras of family first and everything I do is for the family have become meaningless after all this time. That was all she told herself to rationalize her behavior, even if the majority of what she did was for her own benefit. And it began when she inserted that firearm into Cane's car seat. Dru listens, Power Book 2, Ghost, PGS04E05, Ego Death. She had to decide what to do next, much like Tariq, and she decided to go with the business, though she made some remarks about how important family was, which I find hard to believe. A recurring element in all of these shows is that people are either born into or live in a world where they are trapped in a game they cannot leave, and most of them don't even want to. It's all Monet knows, therefore she doesn't want to leave the business. Starting afresh scares me. Tariq was forced to sweep the floor for one shift, which made us cringe at the thought of a life of dishonest work. This idea that Monet can find a new way to balance the business and her family feels, at best, misplaced, even if her intentions are good. And it had the worst conceivable start. I'm slow clapping right now in honor of everyone who suspected that something was really wrong with Detective Carter, because not only is he dirty, but he's sick. Carter has had his sights set firmly on Tariq and Monet, but beneath his outward appearance of wanting to clean up the streets of drugs and improve safety in New York, he was harboring some dark agendas. Courtesy of Stars, Detective Carter on the Move, PGS04E05, Ego Death, Power Book 2, Ghost. Although dirty officers are not shocking, Carter and his task force's attempt to hide behind a morality code was unexpected and addressed Carter's problems, which seemed to be related to the deep sadness he feels over the death of his wife. However, since there is still so much we don't know about what transpired there, that is only conjecture. Was he unclean all the time? Did his wife's passing have anything to do with its dirtiness? Or did her passing make him become this police vigilante? And how in the world did he manage to recruit all these other officers? Similar, Power Book 2, Ghost Review, To Thine Own Self, Season 4 Episode 2. When you consider it, it's actually rather sick. It's a risky idea to profit from drug dealers you allow to carry out their business, but who you threaten to kill or detain if they dare to kill the wrong person. Carter, who gets to work in the city is decided by my task force. You can carry on as long as you follow the rules and protect innocent people. However, if you become bad, you'll end up in jail. Alternatively, we murder you. Link Permalink, who gets to work in the city is decided by my task force. PGS04E05. Though Carter's arrogance was out of this world for a man who had just shown all of his cards to a woman who would now make it her mission to bring him down, Monet and Dru had no option but to comply. This was not one of the ways I could see the Carter plot developing. He's dangerous, ill, and corrupt, all three. Power Book 2, Ghost, PGS04E05, Ego Death, Ready to Fire, Stars. Tariq is tasked with becoming the city's largest drug dealer as we approach the last 5 episodes. Monet and Dru are police officers. We also didn't talk about Cane and Noma, who turned against each other. Who turned the 1990s into an adversary Zion, Mike Tyson. Even though these 3 stories seem to be quite distinct from one another right now, they should all come together eventually. Power has always been adept at making complex things make perfect sense by drawing the connections between disparate ideas. That's what elevates it to the top. Everything additional you should know. It was good to see Noma perspire a little from something other than Tariq because she has been going around unchecked for far too long, and even though Zion doesn't feel like a genuine enemy at this point. Date Night, Power Book 2, Ghost, PGS04E05, Ego Death, Stars. The fact that Noma just needed one party to figure out Tariq and Braden's company was amusing. It was such a smart plan. However, it was not at all discreet. Even though they're still unsure about Davis's future, one of the more intriguing developments as the season draws to a close is that he may be a Noma informant in addition to sleeping with her. Related, I Don't Die Easy, Power Book 2, Ghost Season 4 Episode 1 Review. Regarding Noma and Davis, Cane is going to have a meltdown. And a hurt Cane with a shattered ego will do anything. Is Dru Tejada, yes, Dru Tejada, becoming this season's MVP gradually? He is undoubtedly the one acting in the least obnoxious way thus far, standing by his business. That conversation Elle and Braden had with Sickle Cell was incredibly insightful. Battle Night. PGS04E05, Power Book 2, Ghost, Ego Death, Stars. The claims made by Tommy and Ghost will never be overcome by Tariq and Braden. Here Zion is calling Braden Little Tommy, and the two are yelling at each other and plotting to conquer the world the following day. That's the Power Land Brotherhood. Regarding Kamal, I don't really give a damn, but I didn't like the way that Small Task Force spoke with him. I hope he's the one who takes them out now that I know they're dirty. Seasonal splits, boo. I don't have to like them, even though I can comprehend them. More Power Ghost will be available on Stars, which is fantastic news. However, the bad news is that we will have to wait for it. So that we can talk about it, Please share your thoughts about the hour and the first half of the last season in the comments section below. See you in the autumn. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.